Alright, what's going on, people? Welcome back into another video. Today's video is going to be basically a short version to the HRX recap. The video was actually pretty damn long, and I'm going to be trying to talk as fast as possible. I'm going to be talking about the most important things, the things that they mentioned, the teasers and so on. So let's start off with, for example, the horse animations. One of the things that they decided to do was to implement into the Paladins game something that was already on Realm Royale. And this was the character lean animation to left and right when you would turn left and right into Paladins, which we already have on Realm Royale for a very long time now, but it has been taking a lot of time because there's a lot of animations to be created for every single character, for every simple, every different type of amount, and this has been, they've been working onto this ever since Imani has came out. So sort of you can see already the time that has been taken to the team to even develop this, and this is why it hasn't been in Paladins yet, for anyone who is wondering. Now let's talk about map changes. They decided to actually rework visually 3 different maps. Now 2 of the maps are already pretty much done. The third one is just sketches, but I'm still going to be showing the sketches and so on and speak about some of the things that they mentioned regarding those maps. Now, first map that we have here is a Frog Isle, and in this map you can see here now it's going to have a different light to the entire map. It's going to be a lot better. We're going to have different trees that are going to be a lot more on the style of the latest maps we have. There's going to be a lot more statues of frogs every single place, and including even symbols. For example, on the point right there and the golden frog, we're going to have it as well on the spawns, and it basically still has the same shape. It's still the same map, but it just has different art, a little more improved art, and a more correct art, I would say. Now this is still in work, so I don't even know when it's coming out. I don't know if it's coming out on the patch number 3 or season 3, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Another thing that I noticed is not just the changes throughout the map of the trees, the frog statues and so on. They also decided to close down this little space, this little gap we would have open right as we exit the spawns. There would be this wall that would be, technically speaking, open, and you cannot do anything with it. You couldn't push people out through this gap, but instead of just allowing people to do that, they decided to close it down. I mean, for once it's correct, for another I would just love to have the option to pull somebody right through that place, but maybe it wouldn't be correct since people sometimes are just exiting the spawn. It would be an insta kill. I don't know, let's just continue. The next map would be Frozen Guard, and Frozen Guard is going to have a massive change. As you can see here right now, it's going to be a lot more beautiful and a lot more, detailed. It's gonna have houses everywhere. It's gonna have statues everywhere instead of those trees with snow on top. The ground itself is gonna have a lot more detail. There's gonna be a lot more detail with houses and trees and statues all the way to the back instead of having just those mountains with some ice. I know that there's some sort of a relation to an old map up all the way back up. But I think they just decided to change that since that map doesn't exist anymore, I believe. One other change was around the spawns, but one thing that I noticed is that on the place where we used to have those blocks on the left side, as you can see right now, you would be allowed to climb that little ledge to get to your enemies. Right now I don't think you can, because it's a bush that has no form or shape to allow you to climb up, which is going to be really weird because it's going to limit you even more than before. I mean, this is already a straight line. People can just stand on those high places and stop us from reaching with the payload to the point. Now with this change, I don't even know how we're going to do it, but even so, one final little note about this map is that, for example, they said about visual rework, but I believe that it's going to be more than just a visual rework because, for example, this specific picture you have right now on screen, the tree has now become a statue with some bushes underneath. Now these bushes, they look like to be plain on top. I wouldn't be surprised that as a mage I could stand on top of those bushes, unless they just leave the same form, those invisible walls right there, and we can't even stand near the statue. I wouldn't be surprised about that. And another thing that I noticed would be the ledge, the front side of the map. It would have these wooden barracks sticking out, they're not going to be there anymore, all right? So you cannot stand on them anymore, even if it was just for fun or just for luck, survive for luck. The stairs are going to be pushed away much further back. The little houses we come up from the sides, they're going to be actually in mountains and rocks, big rocks, as you can see right there, which means to me that they're going to be changing the entire landscape that we can't see from here because we're taking the picture from that spot. But if we would look to our back, I don't know what they're going to do to the landscape, but there were old maps on those landscapes, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I really want to see. I'm really interested in see what they're going to do, since it's basically, you know, nostalgia, old maps. It would be actually pretty cool and beautiful. Maybe they're going to be taking it away and making it a more simple thing. I don't know. We'll get to see that in the future when we test it out on PDS. But now, let's go into the third map, Magistrates Archives. Magistrate Archives, they decided to change it a little bit more to Magistrates side. As we can see here on the left side of the map, we're gonna have the Karn, not Khan. I'm not talking about the tank that we have in Paladins. I'm talking about Karn, the leader of the Magistrate. A lot of people have confusion with that. And on the other side, we have the statue of Valera, which nobody's caring for that statue anymore and so on. So she pretty much has already, the statue's already broken because she used to be part of the same team, but then she became part of the leader of the resistance. So there you have. Throughout the map, you're going to be seeing a lot of changes. These are only sketches, so it may differ, it may change. One of the things that I noticed that they changed was the big telescope that was right in the middle of the map is now at a big core like the one that Ceres holds. So it's going to be related to like a laboratory just to experiment and to research things with the abyss. All right, and underneath would be the vault, the room with the relics and so on. Has been changed. It's going to be some sort of a table, like a well where whatever it's being harvested from the core is now falling in there. And all of this, they also mentioned one thing. This is going to be the place where one specific character is going to spend a lot of time. Now, if you guys know the lore, the character that summoned Raum, I may be mistaken, but I think this is his, his spot, his place where he's doing all of this, and this is where Raum was actually invoked to Earth. So we may see some further development on the story of Raum and that character specifically. Maybe we're going to see the character specifically in the future as well, but for now we're going to have to wait. They said the color scheme of the map is going to be basically purple and red, so Magistrate and the Abyss, technically speaking, all together. It's actually pretty sad to see some of the things that, for example, the vault, it would be related to the Maeve lore for the coat. Her coat was stolen from that vault. So everything of this being changed, it also means that that story may be changed as well. Or they may just come with, oh, it used to be like that, now it's like this. So the previous story is still correct because, they just did some remodeling. Who knows? Now, beyond that, more things that they mentioned was, for example, they showed us the skin of Ashe, the Scadron skin for Ashe that basically was one of the winners for the community skins. They said that it did give them a couple of work because it now has a tail, so you guys can expect Ashe with a tail. Broken horn, a normal horn. Her hair is completely different as well. It reminds me a little bit of what we have for Zin, but smaller. The skin of his warrior skin or whatever it is. Her weapon as well. They had to put a lot of animations to it as well because of the way that some little tingling things are around the weapon. So there you have it. Here you can have a taste of how it's going to look like when she's shooting, and also some animations for her emotes. And then they also brought up Tigran. Now, they did not explain to us the abilities of Tigran, but what they did do was actually showed us a couple of animations, including a weapon inspection for our boy Tiberius, all right? And for example, they said that they wanted to make sure that you could be watching the sword and the chakrams when you would inspect the weapons, not just the chakrams, because usually you would only be able to watch a specific weapon, your main weapon. But imagine that you have like a secondary weapon for your ult, like it will be Tiberius. They want you to still be able to view it and not just be on the ultimate. So apparently, according to what they're saying, the only way you can actually see the weapon like first person properly, it will be in the ult. but I believe you can still throw the sword to to attack, and then you can call it back to do more damage as well. But it will not allow you properly to see it. So on the weapon inspection, you're gonna have that. They also showed us one of the emotes we're gonna have, which is basically him standing in front of a table with a mug, and just to relate to cats, he's going to throw that mug at the ground and then push the table away as well. Pretty cool on that. I liked it. It was a pretty cool thing. And beyond that, that's pretty much it. They didn't talk really more about anything else specifically. They talked about, for example, the skin for Grover, saying that it was a very cool skin, that it was some sort of related to a lantern. They didn't give us too much details onto other things, which I would love, like to see the Leon skin, the Grover skin, and so on. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait and see that. That's all gonna be part of the Battle Pass, the next Battle Pass on Season 3, so you can expect to see those community skins there. And beyond that, just a little heads up, little warning, the ROM.x video that I did, I already finished it. I already have a video that is coming out pretty damn soon, in a couple of days probably. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, after tomorrow. We're still gonna have to wait for that, but I'll basically announce a premiere as well, just like I did with ROM. So yeah, watch out for that, and that's pretty much it. Bye bye guys, have a wonderful time, and I'll see you guys on the next one.